took it to MTV. They bought 10 episodes.
Damn. Oh,
and they put us on at like 11 o'clock at night. The show came on, and then it just took off out of the atmosphere, and then we ended up being part of, like, next to the Ashton Kutcher show, the Punk show.
Punk.
They packaged me with Punk'd and Bam, and then it became
Jackass.
Yeah, those guys.
Wow.
And so that's when it really like became like this international.
I'm just
thing.
counting your money right now.
How many seasons? How many seasons was it?
It was 7 seasons of that.
Well, I ain't gonna lie. That when they put you together with that, that's when you knew your tax bracket got different.
No, it did not.
It did not. No ways with your exposure back.
It did not, and I'm not going to get into that because it turned out to be a benefit on my side anyway.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? Because you like the exposure and the way that I became a household name was it allowed me to go in and start doing films and start doing my own thing outside of what that is. Now, Pimp My Ride was the catalyst for all of the car shows that you see now.
Yes.
There was no other car show. It was like, I don't think the Speed Channel had even existed when we first came. So it was a lot that was going on with that show. At first it started like, really, what people miss about Pimp My Ride is that it wasn't about me, it wasn't about the car, it wasn't even about the kid, it's about wish fulfillment. It was about somebody.
About what? I'm sorry?
Wish fulfillment.
Okay.
Like people at home thinking that this could happen to me.
Oh yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And so.
Yeah, you're right.
Right, and so people,
just like Jerry Springer was the opposite. Like this can happen.
Yeah,
to me.
Right. But everybody has if you don't have a lot of money, everybody has a shitty car.
Right.
Everybody wishes they could make it look better. I don't have enough to get a new one, but I like what I have.
Right.
And so, once it got away from that and turned into, okay, hold this Sprite can and look this way, and then put the video, games up on the thing, I was like, where is all these checks going? You know what I'm saying? And then they hand me my little fee for hosting, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, yo, man, all right, cool. So, let me finish my thing because I'm a man of my word. I always complete what I started. You know what I'm saying? I always fulfill my contracts. And so once it was done, it was done. You know what I'm saying? So I ended up going and doing films and really like focusing on my shit. And when I first did Pimp My Ride, I was kind of like nobody was talking to me. Like my peers in hip hop didn't have an opinion at the time. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't know. Explain.
Because as you said, this is something that didn't exist before.
Okay.
So cats was sitting back looking like, what is this nigga doing?
Where's this gonna lead?
You know what I'm saying? It's just going, so you can't high five a motherfucker unless you know he gonna win in hip hop. You know what I'm saying? And so I felt like the show was taking away my credibility of what I had already done. You know? And so, because people, I was used to having cats like us walking up to me like, hey man, you know what I'm saying, my nigga, you know what I'm saying? But and now I got soccer moms.
That's what I'm
coming up saying, give me a kiss. You know, do you hear my records? You know what I'm talking about? And so then it was kind of like a tough thing for me because it was taking so much time. I wasn't able to tour. I wasn't able to record albums.
Oh, damn, I definitely didn't know.
I was there filming. So I didn't have time to put out records.
So how roughly, like one season, how many weeks would it take?
Well, see, that's the thing. It's usually 13 episodes per season.
Per season,
right?
Wow.
But then somewhere in the contract in the fine print, it's like, we're gonna do season 13A.
Oh shit!
You know what I'm saying? And 13B and C and like, hey, hold on, you extending the seasons without upping my shit. You know what I'm saying? And so it was kind of like that's the game the tug of war that was happening up until they couldn't.
So, like, I hear most people are loving hip hop, and they'll say, you know what, Nori? I didn't make a lot of money, but I got the exposure, and the exposure was worth it. Is that something that you kind of relate to?
Well, that's what I say to make myself sleep better at night. Wow. But no, all jokes aside, man, I love what Pimp My Ride did. Dude, I can go around the fucking world and people recognize if they don't know me from my music, if they don't know me from my acting or whatever, then they know me from that. And I'll take either one because as I matured, I figured out that Q rating is what's going to dictate what you can and can't do. Because if you're putting asses in the seats, people recognize you, face recognition, then you can work in this industry. You know?
Was it ever not being fun? Like before you knew about the business part of it?
No, I mean even when the business was you know not exciting.
Okay.
I think the only thing that, because I mean people always say you did some fucked up shit to that car and Pimp My Ride or whatever it was, or people you know like just a wild shit.
Okay.
But I didn't do shit to the car. You know what I'm saying? I was in the beginning and at the end. You know what I'm saying? I never fixed
took
nothing.
it out on you.
Right. But I was the face of the show.
Yes.
So that ended up being all of my shit. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, so when the bad parts came, they
All
blamed
of
you
it.
too?
All of it.
I didn't know that.
All of it.
Oh,
you know,
man.
but you know, there was this thing that happened that kind of, you know, if you remember, there was a switch of garages. You know, it went from West Coast Customs and it went over to a different garage.
Okay, yeah, I
You know,
remember.
And there was an instance where, and I bring that up because I was the face of the show.
Right.
So one of the cars wasn't fixed correctly, and long story short, this kid was driving this vehicle that was supposed to be like damn near brand new, and the steering wheel came off when he was, you know, driving that shit. He put it on the brake and the shit swerved to the side. He was able to get out of traffic, right?
Wow.
So imagine if that shit would have killed him. You know what I'm saying? Who'd be the face of that too?
Wow.
You know, so be careful what you ally yourself with and what you know, it may be huge, it may be great, but at the same time, you got to be careful of who you are and what you represent to that brand.